Welcome to the AAOHN Town Hall. Our meeting will begin shortly as more members filter into the webinar. Hello, and welcome to the AAOHN Town Hall. I'm Kim Olszewski, your AAOHN president, and I'm thrilled to be here today. Thank you for joining us. There's so many exciting things happening in AAOHN lately, so the board of directors decided to host this town hall meeting to share with our members. Please note that this presentation was pre-recorded. After the recording, AAOHN board and staff will be live on this webinar to answer your questions. If you have a question, please use the Q&A box at the bottom of your Zoom screen. We will answer as many questions as possible at the conclusion of the recording. We'll begin today with you, the members. I'm pleased to provide an update on our community growth. Our community is more than 3,300 OHN strong. Just this year, more than 700 people have found value in the resources and support AAOHN provides and joined our ranks. Do you know an OHN who would benefit from the benefits and resources that you've discovered at AAOHN? Stay tuned later this year for an exciting new membership referral program that will reward you for growing our community. Corporate members make up 24% of our membership community. Corporate membership is available to organizations that employ 10 or more occupational health nurses. AAOHN corporate membership comes with some serious perks. If you are an individual member and have colleagues that would benefit from the resources and community AAOHN provides, please reach out to AAOHN to learn more about corporate membership. Thank you to these 24 companies totaling about 845 people who have joined AAOHN's corporate membership program. Whether you've been an AAOHN member for your entire career or you're just tiptoeing into our association, we could all use a refresher on the many benefits of AAOHN membership. Membership provides you free registration to 10 or more live webinars a year and unlocks access to our digital library of clinical practice and professional development resources on topics like disability case management, research, health promotion, and safety and environmental regulations. Members also receive a free subscription with online access to the monthly AAOHN peer-reviewed journal, Workplace Health and Safety. Did you know that you can earn CNE credits for reading those selected articles each month? In addition to these free resources, AAOHN membership saves you money with reduced registration fees for the national conference and discounts on comprehensive professional liability insurance, products from Sage Publications, and UPS shipping. Only AAOHN members have access to the Ask It forum, where you can start a conversation or pose a question to OHNs around the country. And if you're looking to connect with OHNs near you, join one of our more than 90 local chapters for even more benefits and opportunities. AAOHN is able to provide these valuable member benefits because of careful management of our budget and investments. Now, I am pleased to share an overview of the financial health of AAOHN. This slide shows the growth in our net assets from 2018 to today. This growth in net assets allows us to expand products and services to members and continue to build new ways to serve our members. Overall, we remain in a very strong financial position. A review of our revenue shows that 33% comes from our national conference, which was fully virtual in 2022. 46% of our revenue is generated from membership dues. 13% of our revenue is generated from education programs and products. And 8% is attributed to our online job board, industry relations, and also the journal. Our annual expenses can be broken down as follows. Our overhead and administrative operations account for 51% of our budget. 17% of the 2022 expenses are related to the national conference. 19% for educational products and services development, implementation, and marketing of those products. 6% of our expenses support the journal. 4% for technology and website operations. And finally, 3% for managing industry relationships, membership, and board of director support. This year, both our expenses and revenue are expected to fall below the initial budget. This is largely due to the necessary pivot of the national conference to a fully virtual event. Based on where we anticipate expenses and revenues to continue to trend, we expect to have a higher net income than initially projected. Overall, AAOHN is in a financially healthy place going into the fourth quarter of 2022. Each year, the AAOHN budget is created with our strategic priorities in mind so that we can align AAOHN resources for maximum impact. Beginning at the end of last year, the AAOHN board worked very hard to develop this roadmap that will lead our association through 2025. We agreed on 3 strategic goals that will have a significant impact for AAOHN and position the organization to meet the future needs for occupational health nursing. Goal 1 is that AAOHN is the driving force for innovation and excellence in occupational and environmental health nursing. Goal 2 is that AAOHN is a leading partner in advancing improvements in health, healthcare, and professional education. Goal 3 is that AAOHN is the authoritative source of knowledge to advance occupational and environmental health nursing through information curation and synthesis. The strategic plan is a disciplined effort to guide fundamental decisions and actions that shape what AAOHN is, what it does, and why it does it, all with a focus on our future. The board, along with AAOHN staff, are now working to develop and execute short-term plan to achieve these long-term goals and address the needs of the OHN community. You can read the entire plan on the AAOHN website. AAOHN's future is bright, and it kicks off with the 2023 AAOHN National Conference in San Antonio, Texas. After many years of COVID-19 related cancellations and virtual events, I'm so looking forward to our first in-person conference since 2019. Please save the date, March 13th through the 15th of 2023, and make plans to join us in San Antonio. Registration will open later this fall. COVID obviously changed so much of how we all work. For AAOHN, it gave us an opportunity to consider our approach to the national conference and test, with great success, virtual education and networking events. We are moving towards a year on, 1 year off model. That means that there will be no large in-person national conference in 2024. Rather, in even number years, you'll have time and opportunities for virtual program or smaller local events. Then in odd number years, you can plan to attend an in-person national conference. This approach will allow us to keep overall expenses and therefore registration and membership fees low. It also opens the opportunities for connecting with OHNs in your community as well as on the national level. More information about the 2023 National Conference in San Antonio will be available soon. Of course, you don't have to wait until next March to access valuable occupational health nursing education. AAOHN is committed to creating high-quality continuing educational resources and providing ANCC and COA contact hours year-round. To help our members achieve certification and to advance the specialty practice of occupational health nursing, AAOHN added several certification review course products in 2022. You now have 2 review course options to prepare for the exam: a self-paced online or instructor-led in-person venue. Our workshop meets this week in Chicago. We also created a 450 question practice test specific to the content on the AAOHN examinations that you can add to your certification preparation toolbox. Later this fall, we'll launch an online OHN competency scenario course. To date, 242 learners have enrolled in the online certification review course, and 103 learners purchased the practice test product. And we're expecting a full house in Chicago this week. If you're preparing for the COHN or the COHNS exam, prepare with resources from AAOHN. Earlier this year, AAOHN proudly published the 5th edition of Fundamentals of Occupational and Environmental Health Nursing, the AAOHN core curriculum, and added an online core chapter test for additional knowledge checks to accompany this textbook. Since publishing, we've sold 263 copies of this essential text. In addition, AAOHN partnered with Dr. Lisa Pompey at Baylor College of Medicine Center for Epidemiology and Population Health on a Susan Harward grant funded revision to the Respiratory Protection Program Administration online course. This course is available for free in the AAOHN Academy Online Education Center and is a must for OHNs who want to learn more about OSHA's Respiratory Protection Standard and the role of the Respiratory Protection Program Administrator. Have you listened to Occupational Health Nursing Pulse, the new AAOHN podcast sponsored by DISA Global Solutions? 4 of 6 episodes in our first season have dropped so far, and we're thrilled by the response. More than 1,561 people have listened to date. You can listen to Occupational Health Nursing Pulse wherever you get your podcasts, and we encourage you to subscribe, rate us 5 stars, and leave a review to help keep this exciting new platform growing. Like I said, it's an exciting time to be an AAOHN member. To avoid missing an update, please make sure you're receiving AAOHN emails and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Important updates like the release of the AAOHN salary survey is just one option. Released earlier this year, the 2022 Compensation and Benefits Study report for the occupational health professional includes data on employee benefits, facility staffing, expense budgets, salaries, and facility operations. You can use this report to advocate for an appropriate salary, advocate for additional resources for your department, and support your professional development and career growth goals. AAOHN members receive access to the full report and executive summary for free on the AAOHN website. Speaking of the AAOHN website, how about a facelift? The need to move to a new membership portal software created an opportunity to give AAOHN.org a new, modern look and aligns with our vision for the future. In just a couple of weeks, we'll roll out this new website that increases the functionality and ease of use for our membership. Instructions on how to navigate the new site will come soon after we make this exciting upgrade. It's also a time of change for AAOHN's leadership. Kate Engelbrecht has led our association as AAOHN's executive director since 2016, and we're grateful for her leadership and dedication to our growth. Kate will be pursuing a new opportunity, and we're pleased to welcome interim executive director, Kristen Tamkis. Kristen has more than 15 years of association management experience and also serves as the executive director for the National Association of Orthopedic Nurses. I speak on behalf of the AAOHN Board of Directors when I say that we feel confident in Kristen's ability to lead AAOHN through more transformation and growth as we focus on innovation and excellence in occupational and environmental health nursing. Welcome, Kristen. I now open the floor to questions and encourage you to use the Q&A box to dig deeper on anything I've touched on today or other aspects of our community that you have questions about.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's town hall. If you do have questions, please put them either in the chat box or in the Q&A box, and I will read them aloud for us to answer. Our first question is about the website. With the new website, will we still have access to pull past educational certifications? That's a great question, and that will not change. The way that you access all of your education and existing certificates will be exactly the same. What is the title for the podcast is our next question. And it is called AAOHN Occupational Health Nursing Pulse. And you can find it on Spotify and anywhere else that you regularly listen to podcasts. Where is the conference located next year? We will be in San Antonio. Many local chapters are struggling. What is AAOHN doing to support local chapters? This is a great question. We do have a chapters committee, and they do work with the chapter leaders on finding out what their needs are, what their struggles are, and kind of what is going on with all of our chapters. So we do work with that committee. And as always, if you do have a specific issue that your chapter is struggling with, feel free to reach out to headquarters, and we are always happy to kind of help you work through any particular issue that you're struggling with.
I'll just add to that as well. The board members frequently get personal reach outs because we're in regional areas, obviously, with specific membership issues and questions. Everything from helping us restructure bylaws to helping us with elections. And even Yolanda and I are going to be doing kind of an update on corporate membership for a specific group coming up here in 2 weeks. So reach out to us individually if there's something specific we can help you with. And as Melissa mentioned, we do have the committee work that can also help if you need kind of more sets of eyes and ears on a topic.
I think to address that, as we look to do an alternate schedule with in-person and virtual conference planning, that just opens the door more for people to experience their local and regional events and offerings as well. So hopefully that drives some engagement too.
I see the question. I can answer that as far as the annual conference with us going to in-person and virtual every other year. Absolutely, it would be just like, you know, on the off years like we have done the past few years virtually. You will still have that significant amount of continuing education credits being offered. And then, of course, with the in-person, you know, we always have pre-conference and conference and all the same activities. So we don't anticipate taking away any continuing ed. In fact, we're hoping to increase because we know we all need it.
The next question is, are the funds that AAOHN has currently, so that 3.3 million that we referred to in the presentation, invested? And that answer is yes, a majority of that is invested.
Yes, we have roughly 2 million that's invested, and then the rest lives within our checking account in cash.
The online scenario course question, Dr. Yolanda Lang, I see, is on the call here. If she can unmute perhaps, or even put in the chat box. She's been really leading the efforts, her and Kim Martini-Fear, with certification, and they can speak more to that particular question. I guess I can take the next one as well about local chapters having problems recruiting members. I'll be honest, we had problems recruiting members at the national level as well. Some of you may even gotten personal phone calls as we were reaching out. Do you have members in your area that would be interested in running for office? You know, we talked about that at the national level, and, you know, we talked strongly about the need for mentoring. And really reaching out and asking someone to, hey, would you like to be secretary of our local chapter? That's how I got involved, you know, a long time ago. Someone reached out to me and asked that question and then mentored me. So if you're having some challenges, I think mentoring is a great way to have someone kind of have a resource available to them as they learn about being in an organization. So I suggest, you know, reaching out personally and then providing the opportunity for mentoring as a way to help.
Not seeing any more questions right now, but we'll hang on a few minutes in case anyone is currently typing.
I'd like to thank you all for joining us today. We're hopeful we could have got back in person this year. We are be back together here in a couple of months. We're pretty excited about being back face to face in San Antonio, but want to thank you all for taking the time to join us. And as I mentioned, a lot of us are getting emails personally and people reaching out to us personally, and we encourage you to do that. If you have specific questions, if the board can assist or if one of the committees can help, that's what we're here for, and that's a member service, so please let us know.
And we have had a couple of more questions come in. Will the new website be easier for non-members to access webinars, and will it be a secure HTTPS? And the answer to both of those questions is yes. Part of the main goal of the new website is just improved functionality and ease of use, and it will also be an HTTPS. The next question is, what is the total number of AAOHN members currently, and how does this compare to last year? I believe on one of the slides that we showed, we did show our current membership total, which is around 3,300 members, and that is a little bit higher, but still pretty much in line with last year at this time. What is the average age of the membership? This I don't have an answer for. It's not something that we have specifically tracked that well. It is an optional question in the member profile, so we don't really have good data on that at this time.
We collect demographical data like we did with the Total Worker Health research project that we did. So we have captured that in different ways for membership over the years, but I do not believe we have a way to capture it, like Melissa said, in the portal itself. But specific research type or the salary surveys or things like that, where we capture those demographics, you could get that.
And we did have a question in the chat. Is this being recorded? Yes, this is being recorded and it will be made available, including the Q&A portion.
The question regarding the COHNS to possibly take a test question a day. We currently do not offer that, but that's a wonderful idea. So thank you for sharing that, and we can certainly take that back to our team and volunteers to explore further.
The next one on contact information, the website has the information for the board and how to get a hold of the national office. So if you have a specific question, you can actually reach out via the website for contact information. I just looked, I tried to put it in the chat box, at least my email, and it's not allowing me to do the email to everybody. But if you want to, Melissa, you can actually put it in the box for them, but please go to the website for that.
Yes. The next question, thank you for offering the respirator course. Will there be more free courses in the future?
That was driven by a grant. So the work that we did, we're always obviously looking for opportunities to get more money and grant opportunities to expand research. And the ERCs are another great location to expand research. So as things become available, the governmental affairs and practice committees are looking out for that. So we're hoping that's been a great success for us. So we're hoping to look for other opportunities in the future. But that was funded by a grant. And that's largely how we were able to do as much as we did with the respiratory protection.
The next question, if we wanted to start a chapter in Colorado, who would be the best contact to help us get started? If anyone is interested in starting a chapter in their area, you can reach out to info@AAOHN.org and we can send you the starter packet with all of the information on what you need to do to start a chapter. The next question, are we looking at allowing other professions being able to join AAOHN? As an AAOHN member, I can join ASSP and NATA, but they cannot join us. Oftentimes the trainings cross over and help present a different perspective on the issues discussed. Anyone can join AAOHN, regardless of if they're a member of another organization or another allied professional group. We do have a lot of membership options, including an associate membership option, which would be a good fit for other professionals. Do we have AAOHN products like totes, etc., that we can use to promote AAOHN? We do not at this time, but that is definitely something that we can look into if there is interest.
We usually try and do that around the national conferences, that we can have it available to attendees and then obviously extend it to other members should we do that. And hopefully our new website will make it a little more user-friendly to do more things such as some swag, AAOHN swag. So
I want to make sure I'm not ignoring the questions that are coming in the chat box as well. What specific topics would you like to see more of at the conference and submitted for presentation? Kim, you might have more of a perspective on this, but I know from the perspective of the planning committee, they're really looking for any topics that you're interested in presenting on. So if you do have an idea, feel free to reach out to the national office or submit, and the planning committee can work with you.
We're always looking for clinical topics, evidence-based practice topics. We hear that with the journal as well. They'd like to see more applicable things that are going on in practice. So if you're doing any great projects in your practice settings that you'd want to share, that's always an interest to other members because you incent them to try things at their place of employment. So clinical topics, professional development, anything is always very good topics.
The next question in the chat is, do we have promotional membership drive projects coming up? We do, as Kim mentioned a little bit in the presentation, there will be a promotional membership opportunity coming up later this year, so stay tuned on that one. And the next question is, do you think there is any chance of going back to including AAOHN in our conference, or is the plan to keep them separate for the foreseeable future? I think currently our plan is to keep them separate, but Kim, feel free to jump in.
The only thing I would add to that is we're always exploring opportunities on what ways we can potentially partner with other associations, whether that be another chapter within AAOHN or another organization. So at this point, we don't have any intention of partnering with AAOHN, but certainly we have been exploring all organizations that have approached us in possibly, joining conference, time together, sharing space at a conference. So we haven't discarded that notion. It's just we do not have immediate plans for specifically AAOHN at this time.
And the last question that I'm seeing right now is, how does an OHN become a fellow? I'm struggling to find that information. The fellows application will open later this fall. It's not currently posted on the website because it's not live, but it will be opening this fall. And if you're interested in more information on that before the application opens, please reach out to info@AAOHN.org and we can send you that.
I saw a question earlier. I'm not sure if we got to it. I saw Jeannie ask the question about membership and where the membership numbers are. I mean, we are trending up, and we actually had an internal discussion about that at the board level the last few weeks. We are excited to say we are trending up. from where we were last year. We're well north of like 3,400, I believe now. I don't remember the number off the top of my head. Maybe Kristen or Melissa have that handy, but we have nicely seen a trend that we're sustaining going up. So we're very excited about that.
Yeah, as of last week, we had 3,360 members, and that's roughly 150 more than at this time last year. So to exactly what Kim was speaking to, we're seeing a slow but nice upward trend, which is exciting news given the past couple of years. And the corporate membership is a huge component of that and is doing really well. So we're going to continue to put efforts behind that program to continue to promote it.
The next question is, does the website have a list of other sites that may be of interest to OHNs? Yes, on our website, we have several resource pages, both for practice and for career. That would be under the professional development section. We do have a lot of links to helpful sites and information.
There's one more question in the chat about any future plans to hire a lobbyist again. I think the current plan is no. Kim, I don't know if you have any more to elaborate on there, but I think always just looking to see how we best can support our advocacy efforts. But at this point, there isn't or has a decision has not been made to hire a lobbyist again.
Governmental affairs, or legislative affairs, they follow all the kind of pending legislation that's out there. And as we get information on supporting white papers or what have you through the board, explore that. And we usually reach out within our fellows and our membership for subject matter experts on the field to debrief us and give us guidance. We have not made any official plans since I've been in office about official lobbying, but we take all that very seriously. And like I said, we look for subject matter experts to really guide the board and us at the national office on next steps.
The next thing that I'm seeing is, I think, more of a comment that Kim, you can speak to. Any chance that someone from AAOHN could present at an SHRM and a SSP conference about the value of OHNs versus a run-of-the-mill nurse? The challenge of a nurse is a nurse is a nurse is a horrible misconception, and it would help OHNs to discuss their value with groups who are educated on the value of our skill set.
Could not agree more. I remember way back in the day when I got into the field, we did an article called Beyond Band-Aids and Aspirin on the value of what we do as a profession. And I go out and do a lot of conferences, as do many of you on this call, and there's lots of questions about ROI and the benefits of what we do, and especially now with the pandemic on how much we have really been in the forefront. ASSP, I just saw a call for abstracts come across my desk this morning. It's in San Antonio next year, about 2 months after us. So I'd be more than happy to go out and support AAOHN, and the same with the SHRM groups. I think for sure, that's the best people to get in front of to demonstrate our value. So I have a presentation I'd love to dust off and take back out there for that ROI. So I think that's a great initiative. So I'll take you up on that.
All right. I'm not seeing any more questions.
I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining today. At the height of the town hall today, we had over 100 participants, which is wonderful. It's nice to meet everyone virtually, and I really look forward to working with the board of directors and meeting all of you, hopefully in San Antonio, and working together to just continue to help AAOHN grow.
And Deborah Roy just put in ASSP call for proposals. I just had a message from Jill Marshall saying she'd love to present with me. Thank you for that. So we will keep that on our calendars. And as you get these, invitations and abstracts, if you may not feel that you're the best person to deliver that, we have 3,300 members out there that maybe someone can do it locally for us, or we can get the message out. So send it our way, and we'd like to have all of you out there representing us as well. So.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us and asking such thoughtful questions. It was really great to have so many people join us for this, just exciting updates from AAOHN.
Thank you, everybody. See you in San Antonio.